Shalom Akim Wa'akwath, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, the waters to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the tabernacle of David, the hopefully elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, diligently laboring in this truth and all righteousness and sincerity, occupying in the prophecies until all is fulfilled and we are redeemed. So I want to tap in to this video right here with a Shera goddess. Now, this is the sprinkle lady. She came up with the whole sprinkle thing, basically with women making absurd demands from men, saying, oh, if he don't got this type of job or if he ain't making this type of money, then basically he's a bum, that he ain't worthy to deal with. You see what I'm saying? Basically use men for what they have and don't respect them. You see, basically whole culture, man. You know what I'm saying? Thought culture. That's what she pushing. So the day and climate that we in now, many men, and this is why men are done with these westernized women for the most part, man, because this the type of bullshit that they got going on, okay? You got these women out here heavily into witchcraft, especially now, Now, this been going on. This ain't nothing new. As you can see, this video is from 9 years ago, and it got 108,000 views. So majority of women are tapped in to this witchcraft, left-handed spiritual energy. You know what I'm saying? You got these women out here dealing with crystals. They going to tarot card readings, and you know what I'm saying? They're into astrology signs, like, oh, what's your sign and this and that. That's what they're into. You see, and they would rather do everything other than cooperate with a man. See, a woman would sooner go to being a witch and trying to get a man to be on her program under a spell than being submissive and subservient to a man in the proper order, which shows you that the nature of women is that of the serpent. All right, going back to the garden, Eve was aligned with the serpent against her husband and against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And it's still playing out to this day, man. So for you brothers out there that don't have a woman, you ain't got a wife on this side, don't even worry about it, bro. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to deal with these bitches anyway, because they got too much going on, man. All right. And you brothers need to be careful of the type of company that you keeping with these women. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know, what they involved in. All right? Because these women are into some very evil, demonic shit. And you don't want to be nowhere around that, because what's about to happen is the Lord is about to bring judgment. Well, he is bringing judgment to these women, man. And when these women do get judged for their wickedness, you don't want to be nowhere around. So you don't even want to be associated with these bras, man. All right. But yeah, like if you ain't got a woman, man, don't even worry about it, because Isaiah 4:1 is about to happen. And the Lord is going to bring brothers, women, man. Okay. Women that want to be in order, women that are righteous. See, females like this is going to get put to death. All right. She's a 2/3, man. You see? She's a 2/3, and she going to be, I'm going to just say through the spirit that the Lord is going to make her an example. You see what I'm saying? Because she been popping a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the Lord is going to make an example out of her. But the Lord is making an example out of many women now. You see? Women getting judged left and right, and you wonder why. Because they're into stuff like this. Witchcraft. How to get a man to not leave you, and how to get a man to be in love with you and all this. When if you was a righteous woman, if you was in order, you wouldn't have to be doing no goddamn spells to get a man to want to be with you. He will want to be with you off the strength that you're loyal, that you're reliable, all right, that you're an actual helpmate, right, which is the duty of a woman. The sole purpose the woman was created was to serve a man. All right. So these women, without a man, you really ain't shit. Without a man, you're a loser. And these women feel like losers, man. This is why they're resorting to witchcraft in order to gain some sort of power over men. You see, because, men now, the Lord put his spirit on men to where Men are just tired of all the bullshit. Men are tired of the games. Men are just tired of women in general, man. So men are just avoiding women altogether. And when you watch videos like this, you see why. You know, you see why men don't want to deal with these bras, man, because they're batshit fucking crazy. Excuse my French. You know, but that's just what it is, man. You know, the spirit got got it. You know, the spirit got me to say it like that. That's just what it is. You know, these women are out of their minds, and it's only getting worse. You know what I'm saying? But that Isaiah 4:1 is gonna happen on the side, because the fact that women are resorting to witchcraft and using demonic energy in droves to get back men, that should tell you that it's already over. All right, that should tell you that men are just completely checked out. They don't want to deal with these Western women no more. All right, men ain't checking for these bras, man. So, we're gonna watch a short portion of this video, and even when you go to the comments is even wilder. The comments is like wow, this is how these women are out here, operating, man. Which is even more of a reason for you brothers to just, deal with it, man. Which is even more of a reason for brothers to really focus on, serving Yahweh Bashim Shai. Because majority of these women about to be destroyed anyway. But I just wanted to give that quick synopsis. But without further ado, we'll watch probably about 3-4 minutes of this just to get a few points and some precepts and close out. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying.
Hi, it's your star goddess. Okay, so I have this crazy idea and I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, the topic of this video is going to be how to keep your man in line using witchy.
And notice how she said how to keep a man in line, which that's out of order. All right, a woman ain't supposed to even let that come out her mouth, talking about keep a man in line. Like who is you? You're the weaker vessel. How the hell are you going to keep a man in line? Basically, how to get a man to do what you want him to do, which denotes what? That they're searching for power, okay? Which a woman was not granted power, man. She was granted the power to be subservient, okay? She was granted the power to be under a man in obedience. You see? That's what it is. But see, these women, they they want to come up some other way. All right? They want to be the head. They want to tell a man what he can and can't do. They want to tell a man what time he going to be home and what time, or what job he about to have and what car he about to drive and all this type of stuff. That's the type of power that these women want. And to a degree in this world, women do have power over men. All right? They have power over men through the court system. They have power over men in education. They these women even have power over men in these job settings. You see? And that's written as well that the Lord would create a new thing in the earth where a woman would compass a man. So because now the servant, which is the woman, has been elevated over the man in this society, they've gotten proud. Okay, they've gotten proud now. They feel like men need to be on a program. All right? They feel as though they don't have to answer to a man because they got it so good. And that's why the Lord is humbling many of these women, man. Like when you go on TikTok, who's the main one complaining about cost of living, not being able to afford, basic necessities in life, getting a car repoed, just being mentally tormented. Who's the main one you see complaining about things like that? It's the woman. Why do you think that is? Because the woman in Esau, they're the most proud. Okay, Esau been linked in with the woman since the garden. And that's why you see that these women, they perform the same works as their husband, which is Esau, the devil, the serpent. They're completely aligned in the same mode of thinking with the serpent, man. And you see this every single day. All right? You just listen to a woman's talking points. It don't have nothing to do with being a good wife. It don't have nothing to do with being a good mother. It don't have nothing to do with serving a man in righteousness. No, what these women want, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be hoes. They want to be out here, deal with whatever man that they like, ride the cock carousel till they can't ride it no more, get used up, dried up, have 3 baby fathers, and then at the end of that, ask, where are the good men? All right? So they want to still do their wickedness, but they want to have a man that's committed to them and still do what they want to do behind the scenes. And men, have peeped this. And it's like, you know what? You can do what you want to do, shorty, but you're not going to do it with me. Okay? And, this is the stance. Let's continue.
Witchy ways to keep your man in line, okay? And y'all know I don't go by threefold law, so there are certain things that women can do to keep their man in line, keep their man in place, keep their men doing things that they like them to do. And I'm just going to share some of the ones that I use. Okay, this might not work for everyone, but it works for me. So I'm just going to share what works for me. First of all, if you want to keep your marriage together, your family together, your husband from straying, or your boyfriend from straying, or your girlfriend from straying, your partner from straying, you have to think about one thing. You have to say, okay, well, my intentions are good. I just want to keep my family together. I just want to keep my man. I just want to keep us together as long as, we're happy. And
now, you heard what she just said. She just said that my intentions are good. So, according to her, going to witchcraft to keep her man around, that's righteous. Which don't the scriptures say that there's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction, roughly paraphrasing. You see? So that may seem like a righteous thing to you, but you gotta ask yourself as well. If you was really a good woman worthy of keeping a man, why do you have to go and resort to using spells and witchcraft to get a man to stay around? That means that you really ain't all what you think you are. All right. And it also shows that you're very insecure. See? Extremely insecure, man, to the point where you're going to be using left hand divination to get what you want. But, according to you, that's benevolence. Oh, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I just want my family to stay together. I just want my man to stay with me forever. Well, why does your man, or why do you feel as though your man is not into you like that? Why do you feel as though your man would leave? Well, that's some self-examination that you got to do. You see? But bros like this, they're not going to do no self-examination because it's never their fault. It's always something wrong with the man. All right? When you ask majority of these females that, you'll talk to or whatever the case, they'll say, oh, yeah, well, me and my ex, we're not together no more. Then you ask them, well, what happened? At 99.99% of the time, they will tell you that the man did something and that's why they're not together no more. Well, that's BS, okay? Because you be seeing, men out here, cheating on they, so-called cheating on their wives or whatever the case may be, right? And then the woman is still be with them, but every time where it comes to whether it's a divorce or the man ends up leaving, oh, it was his fault. I didn't do anything. It was all him. And they run the same story to all men, so they don't have a asterisk by their name. Okay? So, yeah, listen, man, these women are in for a rude awakening coming very soon, because they playing around with stuff they don't understand. Okay, and what do the scriptures say about this? Ecclesiasticus with Sirach 25 and 23. A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Right? So look, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Like I said, Eve has been tapped in with the serpent, has been tapped in with the devil since the garden, man. So and Eve have been working hand in hand to destroy the Israelite man. All right. So you see this thing still playing out to this day. And the woman, by and large, has a mindset, especially the Western woman, the Babylonian woman. All right. She has this idea of feminism and women's liberation, and oh, women don't have to be under a man anymore because now we can work, and now we can do this, and now we can be the breadwinners, and all this type of stuff. But you're only, these women only have that proud mindset because they were given perks by the devil. Okay, they was given perks by Esau Edom. So now, you know, it's kind of like when you give a little kid any significant amount of money, they go crazy. They don't know how to act. You could give a child like let's let's just say $100, man. Because to a child, $100 is a lot of money. But you give that to them, they ain't gonna know how to act. They gonna be buying this and buying that and trying to, they gonna go crazy. Well, the same thing has happened with the woman. All right, she was given a small amount of liberty. She's been given rights in this society, and now she don't know how to act. Now she forgot who she is. Now she forgot her role. All right, which is to be under a man, to be a part of a family unit. All right, to assist the man in raising the children, in keeping of the house. Okay, to bear forth that man's seed, and to be with that man and that one man alone for the rest of her life. That's very simple, man. But see, we live in a world that is confounded. And why is this? Because the wicked beareth rule. All right, let's go back.
And you can do like a simple binding spell to bind him to his family, to never leave his family, to love his family. You can bind him to love his family, to never leave his family, to invest in his family. You can bind him to do something good for his own family, And the way that I like to do bindings, because, a lot of times when you do binding spells, you have to keep stuff around your house or bury it and all that kind of stuff. The kind of binding spell I like are the freezing ones. I take like a piece of paper and I write down what I want. I bind, such and such to love and stay with his family and do this and this and that, blah, 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 blah. I roll it up. I tie it up with string. I get like a plastic Ziploc bag and I but like halfway with water. Put the paper in, seal the bag, get all the air out, seal the bag, lay the bag flat in the freezer and let it freeze. And stick the bag in the very back of the freezer where he never looks, because he's not going to go look in the back of the freezer. Put it in the back of the freezer where he never looks, and just going to look like a bag of frozen water, and just think, oh, that's for, when you have aches and pains and you need an ice pack. That's my homemade ice pack, okay? He's not going to open it and thaw it out and wait for it and read the paper that's wet, okay? He's not going to do none of that. So bind him with a frozen binding spell and put the freezer bag in the back of the freezer where he'll never find it. And as long as it stays frozen, the bind will stay. Nobody can disturb it, okay? So that's one way. And sometimes when they think, or things start going to sour and you think, oh, this is not working anymore, by some strange method or reasoning or manifestation or that binding, he'll start having dreams. He'll be like, oh my God, I had a dream that this happened to y'all. You were in a car accident and I'm just so lucky to have you. That's like your psychological grip on him from the binding. So he's going to be more appreciative of you is going to be like, seeing and not taking you for granted either. So that was one of my recommendations. Also, another witchy ways to.
This bitch is wicked, man. Are you hearing what she's saying? Putting a binding spell on a man, you know? All this wickedness. But see, this is what they would rather do than cooperate with a man. This is what they would rather do than be submissive, than to be honest, right? Than to be a helpmeet to a man, to support a man. This is what they would rather do. Which this shows you the sneakiness, the craftiness of women. The same attributes of her father, the devil. Okay? The lust of your father ye shall do. Now we know Yahweh Shai, he was speaking to the wicked Pharisees when he said that. But this can also apply to the woman, you see? Because the woman, she's in direct, whether she realizes it or not. All right, because you'll have a lot of women speak against Esau. Oh, the white man is this and that. Well, whether you realize it or not, you're actually in line with the so-called white man's philosophies. Okay, and you live and act them out in your everyday doings. You see? So this is even more of a reason for brothers to stay prayed up, man, to stay diligent in this truth, because you never know, brothers. You might have exes that you may have dealt with, baby mothers, ex-wives, or whatever situation that brothers have, they may be bitter, still upset that you're not around no more, or don't take them seriously. And they over here putting up curses on you. They over here, casting spells and, all this type of stuff, which, hey, the scriptures say that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Okay, so we ain't worried about these little, weak ass spells that these women wanna do, man, because it don't have no effect on the men of the Lord, because we're protected by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see, but this will work on 2/3 niggas though. This will work on 2/3 Jake that don't have no protection. All right, and when you go to the comments, it said finally a witch who isn't afraid to do the things that actually need to be done. You see? So basically you did spells to make your husband, a better husband, father, man, and leader. I see no issues here. So instead of choosing a man that's already that, instead of choosing a man that's already a good husband, a good father, a good man, and a good leader, you pick Pookies and Ray Rays, and you want to cast spells to make him that. Completely backwards, man. Completely backwards. See, and this shows you that women don't know how to choose men. This is why in the ancient world, a woman's husband was chosen for her by her father. You see, it was called an arranged marriage, which this is what these women need, because clearly them being able to be out here and choose for themselves, it hasn't worked. You see? And you can just look at the amount of families that you see out here. It's pretty much non-existent. So women choosing a good man has not worked. And continuing to repeat the same action over and over again and expect a different result is insanity. Showing you that these women are insane. They don't know what's going on. I have done binding spells in my crochet blankets. So damn, even in the blankets. Crochet is just a bunch of little knots, and it has worked well for me. I totally believe love spells, binding spells, and do as I say spells only work if the person is semi-attracted to your energy or already has some sort of connection with you. I'm shook. I did freezer thing and he messaged me hours later. We haven't talked in weeks. Why don't you just pray to God/JC for protection? Well, we know God and JC are idols. You know what I'm saying? Is really Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All right, but she don't know that, and she's coming in that Jezebel spirit. All right, so the Lord wouldn't even deal with her anyway, man. All right, because the Lord heareth not the prayers of sinners. See, I lost my marriage just like my mom. I wish I had known these things. My mother-in-law did all her spells and I learned it all too late. He still lives with her. I live alone with my 4 kids. And a lot of these women out here are alone. They don't have men. Men don't want to deal with them. And that's judgment from the Lord, man, because, these women, they're supposed to be with a man. Okay, now we're coming into the days where men are just so turned off that Isaiah 4:1, you already seen it happen. You're already seeing it happen. Like you go out, you starting to see women try to, be in your presence. You know what I'm saying? Because they want you to, court them. Say something to them. You see what I'm saying? Women are definitely moving different now, man, because they know that men ain't fucking with them like that. So now they really got to compete. You see what I'm saying? But a man of the Lord can look at a woman and discern if she's righteous or not. What kind of energy that she coming with, man. And a lot of these women in that day, they going to be rejected and they going to be left to the wolves. See, ultimately, they going to be destroyed. You see, because the men of the Lord are going to have, that high level discernment to know if, a female scoffed against the Lord or, scoffed against the prophets. Okay, if she blasphemed the Most High, women like that are going to be left to the wolves, man. All right. But the elect sincere sisters, they gonna be all right. The Lord gonna make a way for you. And if you ain't got a man, then the Lord is gonna put you with one of his men. Okay? But these women like this, the sprinkle, she through. You know what I'm saying? She all the way through. You know? She even got Becky on this, man. The bath essential oils won't kill me. Amazing idea. Always use freezer spells to get people to go away, but now I'm going to use it as love binding also. So you see what it is. These women are completely through, and this is from years ago. But if this was from years ago that they was doing this, how much more now? How much more now are these women into these type of spell castings and things like that? So it's just all bad for the woman. Binding, freezing spells work wonders. This is really pathetic, man. Like as a woman, you gotta go through all these hoops and hurdles just to get a man to really fuck with you. And that just go to show you, man, a lot of these women know that they not up to par. A lot of them know that. Because they're resorting to things like this. Can you speak on the divine feminine and ways to naturally draw things you want, mainly ways to increase through, completely through? But all right, we get the point, man. Women are completely wicked. All right, you brothers need to be vigilant. All right, and if you're gonna deal with a woman, make sure that you vet her. All right, make sure that you find out what she's into. But I'm gonna tell you right now, women like this, you need to stay far away from. All right, because hey, you don't want to deal with it, with one of these bras, man, and she over there trying to, put spells on you. All right, which a lot of time when they do those spells, it always, most of the time it'll backfire. Like a woman to put a spell on a man, like a binding spell, and then what ends up happening? Like we've seen countless, articles on these things, man, where you'll see the headline, man, deletes girlfriend, kills dog and then burns down the house and offs himself. Like we've seen things like that. And you can't marvel if that happened because these women are using spells on these men to have some kind of control over them. But instead of, that man, just being, normal, now he's overly obsessive. You see what I'm saying? To the point now where a man would be like, hey, listen, if I can't have you, then nobody will. And he just go crash out and just burn everything down and take himself out. And ultimately, that's a spirit of vengeance sent by Yahweh Bashim Shai. You see? So these women, once again, they got a rude awakening coming real soon, man. Like They about to F around and find out for real, man. And it's already happening. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and let's get 27. But you know what? Select. Verse 25. I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of these of things and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets and her hands is bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. You see? So King Solomon, okay, which had many, many women, he had many wives and concubines, right? He said, I find more bitter than death the woman. So King Solomon said, listen, I'd rather go back to the spirit world than to, deal with a, woman like that, whose heart is snares and nets, you see, and her hands is bands. All right, so these women, their heart is as snares and nets, man. All right. So they always trying to, manipulate you, always trying to get you to bend to their will. All right. And they'll use what they have to get what they want, as the old saying goes. Right. But if a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with him, man. And that includes the woman. All right. Because on this side, man, the woman is our enemy. All right. It is what it is. You just see the way that they move. The woman is our enemy on this side, brothers. All right. Now, if you got you a righteous woman, a woman that fears Yahweh Shemel Shai, then that's an extreme blessing. The Lord really, really blessed you with that. All right. But for majority of these demons out here, that ain't the case. All right. But if the Lord is dealing with you, like if you find yourself in a situation dealing with one of these women and you want out, just keep on doing what you're doing, serving the Most High, and the woman will, and it's like the Lord will remove that wicked woman from out your life. And guess what? You ain't gonna have to lift a finger, brother. All right. And I know because that exact thing has happened to me. Okay. The Lord has worked in my favor with, women many times. Okay. To where I came out of that situation unscathed, at peace. All right. And she was all jacked up, so I've seen it on a first-hand basis in my life, just, the way that Yahweh Bashim Shai works. All right. So the best thing that you can do as a man in his truth is serve the Most High. Okay. Serve Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. Seek ye the kingdom first and all things shall follow, man. You see, because these women out here is not right. Verse 27, behold, this I have found, saith the preacher, counted one by one to find out the account. 28, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found. So King Solomon said, out of 1,000 men, he found one righteous, right? But a woman among all those have I not found. So out of 1,000 women, okay, he found not one righteous. Not one. And when you look at the whole red pill movement and exposing women, who's at the forefront of that? It's men. Okay, men are at the forefront of exposing women, calling them out on their whole behavior. You see what I'm saying? Actually calling women to do better, calling them out on their BS. But who's the main ones pushing back against the women? All right, majority of these women are pushing back against the sound counsel that men are putting out there, man. Which shows you that the heart of the woman, as King Solomon says, is snares and nets. Okay, these women are completely given over to Satan. Right, this is why you gotta be careful dealing with these women, man. Because their hearts are what? As snares and nets. Okay? But it's, the fact that King Solomon said out of 1,000 men, he found one righteous, that shows you that men have some sort of morality. Okay, the men have some sort of standards still. Okay? The women don't. You see, the women are completely given over to the left-hand side, man. And that's just the way it is on this side, man. Like, we're going to have to wait to the kingdom, for, our women to truly be what they were meant to be. But on this side, it ain't going to happen. All right. Verse 29, lo, this only have I found, that Yahweh hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. See? So King Solomon understood what the woman was all about, man. All right? And to this day, we still see that these women, have just waxed worse and worse. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, Yahweh Bashmel Shai, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Verse 27. A man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them. So these women that got these familiar spirits, out here practicing all kind of witchcraft and sorcery. Guess what? The time is coming where the Lord is going to put these women to death. Okay? Like I said, you already seen it, but the judgment is about to go to the next level. All right? Because once again, these women are messing around with things that they ought not to mess with. All right? They're going out of their lane, messing with voodoo and hoodoo and all these different type of enchantments to get a man to bend to their will. All right. 1 Timothy chapter 2. And let's see here. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman, being deceived, was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. All right. So Adam was first formed, then Eve. But the woman was deceived. Adam wasn't deceived, man. All right. And the serpent went to Eve because she was the weaker vessel. Okay. The devil ran game, told her what she wanted to hear, and she fell hook, line, and sinker. All right. So through the woman, sin came into the world. All right. Now, if the serpent would have went to Adam, he couldn't have ran the same game on Adam like that, because Adam would have already known, well, wait a minute. The Lord told me that I can't have the fruit from this tree. So what are you saying? All right. And Adam more than likely would have rebuked the serpent, and that would have been that. But see, the story went down the way that it was supposed to, because this is the way that the Lord wanted it to go. Okay, we were supposed to fall so that we could learn good and evil, man. So that when we get the kingdom, we would have gone through complete hell. Then we're going to know and fully appreciate the kingdom, man, because our kingdom is going to be for eternity. But this lesson of good and evil that's been playing out since the beginning, all right, this is for our own good, man. All right, so that we can ultimately learn to judge righteous judgment and how important that righteousness is living in this wicked world. So, these things have happened all for the purposes of Yahweh Bashim Shai, but through the Spirit, we understand these things. And this is what pushes us harder to go in this truth, because we understand that the Lord has designed a purpose for all things, no matter how grim, no matter how, bad the things might seem, the Lord has a purpose for it. But you just got to trust the process. All right. But yeah, the woman, she won't be saved in childbearing. Okay. If they continue in faith and charity and holiness and sobriety, which many of these women, they don't have none of those traits. Not one. A lot of these women can't even boil water, man. Can't cook, don't know how to clean. You see, have bad hygiene, barely drink water, just extremely dusty, man. But they got the nerve to say that men broke and men dusty and all this and that. All right. So this world got to go, man. Like, this place is just completely out of order. And another thing is, you having all these, witches out here spreading this to, younger women, training them up like that, getting into the crystals and all that kind of BS. It's all kind of seducing spirits and doctrines going around out here, man. Damnable heresies, things that they ought not to teach. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. You see that? So many have departed, okay, from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And What she's talking about, this is the doctrine of devils, man. Okay, look at the title, Witchy Ways to Keep Your Man in Line. That's madness. Why would you need, see, if you was a righteous woman, you wouldn't need witchy ways to keep a man. Your man would already want to, be with you if you was righteous. But see, it's the wickedness in you. Okay, you have ways that you don't want to change, messing around with all this witchcraft and whatever else that she got going on. All right, so that man's spirit can bind with yours. Okay, because y'all is on two different types of energies, man. So the Most High ain't dealing with that, and that's ultimately why majority of the 2/3 of our people that's going to be destroyed are women. You see, majority of the 2/3 are women because there's more women than men. All right. So yeah, Asherah goddess and all the other women that teach these doctrines of devils. All right, they come in as Jezebel spirit and want to lord over men. The Lord is going to destroy you. Okay, the Lord is going to take you out, and your death is going to be a horrible and painful death, man. All right, and I hope that she see this video. You see, because she got it coming. All right, now she's she looked like she completely into that witch lifestyle. So really for her, it's only a matter of time, man. Okay, it's only a matter of time before the Lord dropped that hammer. You see? So marvel not, brothers, when you start seeing, women such as this, you start hearing reports like, damn, she just dropped dead and she just got, put to death and this happened. Yeah, we definitely in those times. So I'm going to go ahead and close out here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Call halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect, Kum Yasha Allah, and the Bible Ball.